Well, today, as this shit show of a New York trial winds down, in a case that should have never even been bothered with, that wasted millions of taxpayer dollars, not to mention the time of a presidential candidate that is the front runner in the entire election. Period. Never in the history of this country has such nonsense ever taken place. Period. At best, this was a trial over somebody mislabeling paperwork. And a guy who makes billions of dollars and hires somebody to do his paperwork for him, since he doesn't have to do it himself, is the one you have on trial for this possible mislabeling of paperwork. Non-disclosure agreements means you don't talk about whatever you settled for money on. So anything to do with this trial is a violation of a non-disclosure agreement, which many, many people go into for so many different reasons I won't even begin to go into it. So, after all this waste, there's still some people that aren't smart enough to see that these lawsuits are strictly Biden going after his strongest political opponent. If that clown actually got 81 million votes the first round, really, which never happened, promise you, period, he wouldn't even be the least bit afraid of going into an election against Trump. None of these lawsuits would have taken place. But he knows he cheated. And he knows this round, everybody that has a brain knows he cheated. And instead of lackadaisically not going to vote, they'll go out in droves to try to get him gone, to try to save this country. I'll stop on that. This last weekend, I got to talk to a good friend of mine that I haven't spoken to in a long, long time. He is very much a Democrat, absolutely hates Trump. And we were just talking about general things. One of the things we talked about had to do with money that a person can make cash-wise, doing different things. And how nice it is just to have a little extra money come in from something. And as we were parting, said, yeah, we're great friends. We just don't agree politically. But after we had sat there and talked for a good while, I told him, I said, well, actually, it sounds like we do agree on a whole lot of things. And he looked kind of puzzled for a minute. And I said, well, the deal about being able to make money without the government taxing you on it, between two friends or somebody doing a small job for somebody on equipment or whatever, that's something pretty much everybody would want. And he agreed. And I told him, well, this clown Biden is pushing for electronic currency and the doing away with cash. Once that happens, there is no more side jobs for cash. There is no more Uncle Screw Me not sticking his hand in your pocket to get every last penny he can choke out of you to do what? To send that money to some other country so that it can go to some place, to a shell company, and be laundered and sent back to the very people that are in our government that want to tax the living shit out of us. Think about that. All of these government officials have 100% paid insurance for their health or anything. We have to struggle to get insurance, have to pay hundreds of dollars at least per month to have any kind of insurance for our health. These guys up there taxing the hell out of us get it for free, for life, on our dime. Then they send this money overseas so they can get a percentage of it back to come in their bank account. It's nothing short of theft. These are the things that the Democratic Party and all of the establishment Republicans are trying to fight against Donald Trump for, because he's trying to make it to where the American taxpayer does not get ripped off. He's trying to give this country back to the people. The tax breaks he gives to everyone will help put more money in your pocket. The more money you put in your pocket, the more money you will spend. The more money you're able to spend, the more the big rich guys will make their money. Yes, he cut some of the taxes for the rich people as well. If you tax the rich too deeply, all they do is raise the prices to where the middle class can't afford things. We have got to get this country back. If we allow one person to frivolously create a bogus lawsuit against the leading candidate that's his rival, we're no different than Russia, where Putin has somebody who opposes him murdered or jailed. That's the end of America if we allow things like that to happen. So pray to God that this case is resolved and Trump is free. Anybody that hates him, feel free to hate him all you want to. I'm sure he doesn't care. Let's think about the policies. Let's think about how we ourselves are doing in this country. I know I'm spending about double the amount for gasoline right now that I was spending when Trump was in office. I'm spending at least 40% more for groceries than what I was spending before. If I go to a fast food restaurant, look around for the dollar. Most of those are non-existent anymore. They call them value menus because they've almost doubled as well. We can't keep going on like this. As this country grows a huger or a more huge deficit, the inflation will get higher and higher because our money becomes worth less every time we go deeper into debt. We're paying interest on our own money. People, God bless America. We've got to get rid of these Fruit Loops. We've got to get back to what's important: God, family, and country. We don't need men who think they're women competing in women's sports. If they want to do something like that, let's have an IT class. Let these fruits compete against other fruits, and they can have Battle of the Fruitiest. And then we can still have men's and women's sports. Anyway, I apologize for this unrehearsed, unedited video, but I love you guys, and I love America. Have a good day.